Alright, hey y'all, it's a Hoodie back again with another video, and I just wanted to talk about a random update that came. Apparently Moonton made some changes to Argus. They buffed them a little bit. They made some changes to Beatrix, such as nerfing a lot of her damage towards turrets, and they completely beat up Bane in a lot of different areas. Well, in the most important area for him, which was his second skill. So they increase its cooldown, they made the damage reduction a little bit less, which isn't as big of a nerf, but they nerfed his HP regen from his skill, and they nerfed the magic damage of his ultimate, which is really unfortunate because just now Bane was starting to get attention, people were starting to use Bane, he was just starting to get noticed, and now Moonton came out of nowhere and completely said no, just no, like we don't want you to use Bane. He deserves to be in the in the forgotten fighters section of the game, unfortunately. And the reason why these changes were such a big deal was because most of Bane's damage was coming from his second skill, since it was the only skill that does magic damage. And that's a whole topic into itself of why that's weird, but this was a complete nerf to Bane. It's abysmal. It's horrifying. As somebody who loves using people who aren't in the meta, this is unfortunate because most of his damage was coming from his second skill. Like he used to do, well, he still does, but before, his second skill was OP, but just in the right way, because the rest of Bane's skills aren't OP. Like I think these changes weren't I don't know. I guess they try to make him balanced, but it's not like he would one-shot people with this skill. Like I have seen a lot of times where people could easily beat Bane by just staying away or dodging his second skill, which isn't hard to do. And sure, it was insane burst damage, but there are items in the game to nerf Bane's damage, such as Athena's. And yeah, it's really unfortunate. Fortunate that Bane's most OP, it wasn't even that OP, but I guess somewhat OP damage from his second skill is getting nerfed as hard without any changes to his other skills, because his other skill, his skill 1, it's completely weak. And if you try to build Magic Bane, it's completely, I guess for the most part, useless, except for the early game where you can poke the enemy a little bit, but since it scales up with physical damage, it won't be scaling up with Bane as he built up items. It's just going to be doing the base damage, which sucks. And that's one of the things what I find weird about Bane is that one of his skills does magic and the other skill does physical damage. Like, why? Like, Bane's point is push and burst, and the fact that you can't use one of those skills for burst is unfortunate. His first skill is literally meant for poking, and that's it. You can't really do a lot of damage with it. And then his passive too, it scales up with physical damage. So that's two parts of Bane that could be used for more burst that don't even scale up with him if you decide to build magic, which is it's weird. You take somebody like Kimmy, now you can build her magic or physical. Now Kimmy right now isn't doing the best when it comes to performance wise, but regardless, you can always see people building one thing. You always see them either building, for the most part, either full magic or almost full magic or full physical. But with Bane, it's like, and that kind of makes sense because she's a marksman. Her skills scale up with what you decide to build on her. Meanwhile with Bane, you either upgrade one skill until it's very OP, meanwhile the other two skills are basically useless late game, or you can decide to build physical, which means his basic attacks would be stronger and his skill 1 would be stronger, but you lose out on the insane damage that his skill 2 could do. So no, it's kind of weird that they decided to make him half a magic fighter and half a physical fighter. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Tell me in the comments below what you think about physical Bane, or if you think that magic Bane is OP. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's sad to see my boy be nerfed this hard after, finally getting some attention. But I mean, what can you do, Hopefully they, decide to bring him back to at least a little bit of OPness, because now he's going to be used a little bit less, which is unfortunate. Because, I mean, it kind of just puts back the meta where it was before, instead of adding a new fighter, instead of, switching things up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.